Hey guys, welcome back. It's Jeffrey with Achieve Ed, and today we're going to be talking about 5 tips for an amazing Common App essay. I know it's that time of year where if you're a senior, you are going to start writing your Common App essay. Hopefully you've already started writing it, but if you haven't, now is probably just around the time to start, or at least start thinking about what topic you want to write about. And in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 things that you definitely should keep in mind as you're writing and revising your essay. But before we do, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to this channel. We're going to be posting a lot of college content throughout the next few weeks and months as you guys are applying to college. So you definitely want to stay tuned and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single upload. Anyways, so getting right into the first tip right here. And this is probably something you've already heard, right? It's focus the essay on yourself. You want to focus your Common App essay on yourself because obviously the entire college application is about yourself. Now that being said, I think a lot of students take this advice into their heart, but don't really end up applying it. And what I mean is that they'll try to write an essay about themselves, right? Maybe about a passion that they like, an event that happened to them, a club that they're a part of, stuff like that, right? But the essay ends up being more about that thing or that event rather than themselves. So it's one thing to talk about the coding club and, you know, all the things that you did in the coding club. It's another thing to talk about not just the coding club and what you did in it, but also how you grew from it, right? What did you feel about it? Things that you can't just list off on a resume that not everybody else can see. Anyone else in the club can know that you were a part of the club. They can see, for the most part, what you did in the club, how you contributed, maybe you had a leadership position. Everybody can see that. What they can't see is what you're feeling inside, what you're thinking of, why you joined the club, right? Your motivations, your inspirations, how you grew from the time you were a freshman or a newbie in the club to the time that, you know, you progressed through the ranks and became the club president. That's what people don't know. People can't just see that in you. And that's what makes a great essay. That's what really makes the essay about yourself. Because again, it's something that nobody else knows. Only you know. And that's what the admissions officers want to know. Second tip, moving on here, is showing personal growth. I think this is also something that's really important. And honestly, throughout the essays that I've read as a college consultant here at Achieve Ed, I think a lot of essays are lacking in that. Now, it is true that not every one of the Common App prompts talks about personal growth. I think the most famous one that talks about personal growth is the 5th prompt, the one about discuss an accomplishment, event, or realization that sparked a period of personal growth and a new understanding of yourself or others. So that one, like, obviously, you're going to talk about personal growth. But I think even the other prompts that don't necessarily explicitly mention personal growth or ask you to talk about it, I still think, right, even if it's not explicit personal growth, some kind of progression, right, throughout the essay. Because think about it. Why are the admissions officers reading 650 words about you? They don't just want a huge narrative and a huge story, right? I mean, yes, that's kind of cool, but that's not really what they're after. They're after an essay, right? And in an essay, there is some kind of point, right? There's a moral, there's a theme. There's some kind of realization or lesson learned. One of these things has to be in the essay, especially your Common App essay. So you want to make sure that you are showing some kind of progression, some kind of growth throughout the essay. Maybe you started out at the beginning of your essay, you know, as the new kid at your school, right? But at the end of your essay, by the time you're done writing and the reader is finished reading, you've learned some kind of lesson, you've grown, right? Or even if you're writing about, say, the first Common App prompt, which says some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful, they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, then please share your story. So that prompt, again, does not explicitly mention personal growth. However, I still think you should incorporate some kind of, like I said, progression into your essay. So For example, let's say your interest is in music, right? So you write your essay about music. Now, you can't really just write a bland essay in 650 words talking about, like, for example, one recital, right? I mean, you can, but there has to be some kind of progression. Maybe you started out like, really new to music. And then by the end, you've really learned the value of music. Or maybe you talk about how you've always been good at music, but at the beginning, you were really, you were really arrogant about it. But by the end, you really realized just how big the world of music is, right? So I'm just like throwing examples out of my head right now, but you get the point, right? You want to show personal growth, and I think that's super important, even if, like I said, the prompt does not include the words personal growth. And now moving on to the third tip in this video, that is try to stay away from flexing and kind of just listing out your resume in your Common App essay. And the reason I say that is because I think that that kind of stuff where you're just talking about your resume and expanding on your activities and stuff like that, expanding on your awards, I feel like that fits more in your supplemental essays, where you're more specifically talking about, say, the major you want to apply to or the activities that you did. I feel like the Common App essay is more of an opportunity for you to show your personality, kind of tell your story and create a narrative about yourself that reflects throughout the entire application, right? And if you're just gonna use your Common App essay to like flex all the awards that you got from like whatever competitions or whatever, I feel like that's kind of wasting the value of the Common App essay. So I would save that kind of stuff if you want to for your supplements. If you have like impressive stuff. For your Common App essay, you can still write about the same like activities or competitions, but you want to kind of provide a different angle. Instead of just saying what you did and the awards that you got, try to go from the angle of, for example, why did you do this? What were your motivations? What were you thinking? What were some lessons you learned? And stuff like that. I feel like that is more valuable in the Common App essay. That actually kind of ties into my next tip. That's tip number 4, which is make sure your Common App topic is different from your supplemental essay topics. So you don't want to like repeat the same stuff in all your essays because first of all, the admissions officers are just going to get tired of it. They've already read the same information, but also you have limited words in your entire college application, just among like all the essays that you're writing. And you want to make sure that like each essay is bringing the most value instead of just repeating stuff that the admissions officers already saw in other parts of your application, right? So you don't want to write about the same topic. Now, that being said, like I said earlier, you can write about the same general topic if you approach it from different angles, right? So let's say you want to write your Common App essay on like your experiences in the coding club at school. Okay, like you can write about that, but go from it towards the angle like I talked about in one of my previous tips, maybe about like why you joined the club or kind of your progression through that club and your thoughts and your feelings and your reactions and stuff like that, right? Which is more personal, I guess. And if you want to also write about the coding club in your supplemental essays, you can kind of talk that side more about the technicals, like how you joined the club, the awards that you won, the skills you applied, stuff like that, and kind of expanding on that would, I think, better fit in your supplements. So yes to same general topic, but no to like just repeating the same information. And that brings us to the last tip number 5 in this video. That is, do not make claims without warrants in your essay. You don't want to just say like, I'm a very athletic person, right? Like if you're going to make a claim like that, you got to have something to back it up, right? Talk about your childhood playing sports, or talk about high school and your sports career, but don't just make a blanket claim, especially like a really broad claim, and just expect the admissions officers to get it, right? Because even if they do, it's not as strong as if you provide the warrants. Another place I think warrants are really important is when you're showing the personal growth. I think a lot of people just say, I realized blah, 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 right? But I think it would be even better if you said, I've realized blah, 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 and this is how I applied it, right? Because now you're not just making the claim, you're saying warrants to back it up. So let's say, like, I realized the value of a good leader and the difference a good leader makes to a team. Something like that, right? Now, instead of just ending it there, you now go on to say, because of that, I ran for a leadership position in one of my clubs or something like that, right? Now you are providing the warrants for your claim, and that makes your essay a lot stronger. So those are the 5 tips in today's video. I hope you guys do find this video helpful. And I do want to kind of give a quick plug. If you guys do want like a one-on-one free consultation with the AchieveEd team, that's including me and other consultants, then please go ahead and click the link in the description. That's achieveedprep.com, and you can sign up for a free consultation for 30 minutes. And we will pretty much answer your questions. If you have any questions about the stuff we talked about in today's video, or if you actually want us to like review your essay one-on-one, we can definitely do that in a free consultation as well. So if you're interested, go ahead and sign up for that. But other than that, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for more college advice uploads. And until the next video, I'll see you all later. Peace.